On the 575th day of the war in Ukraine, the fighting was concentrated in these areas. On the Zaporizhzhia front, Ukrainian forces made significant advances during the last 24 hours. In the Robotyne sector, for the first time, the mechanized units of the Ukrainian army managed to overcome the Surovikin line and conducted operations near the main trenches west of Verbove. Geolocated footage posted by Russian sources on Telegram confirmed that Strykers, Marders and other armored vehicles of the Ukrainian army managed to cross the anti-tank ditch and the Dragon's Teeth line and supported their infantry forces in the clearing operations along the main trench line. During this operation, the Ukrainian armored units dismounted groups of Ukrainian soldiers near the trenches in two different locations as shown on the map. The Russian forces responded with artillery fire, destroying and damaging some of the armored vehicles of the Ukrainian forces, but what is interesting to see from the footage posted by Russian sources is the absolute lack of ATGM or kamikaze drone strikes, which suggests that the Russian defensive line in this direction may have lost its function. The fact that the Russian army can only respond with long-range artillery strikes in such a critical moment indicates that the Russian defense in this direction is showing signs of weakness. In addition, the fact that the Ukrainian forces are now able to overcome the anti-tank barriers means that the Ukrainian army will have an easier time transferring large numbers of troops to the Russian defensive line, making it much easier to conduct clearing operations inside the Russian trenches. During the last few hours, Ukrainian sources based on geolocated footage reported over other advances of the Ukrainian forces inside the main trenches. According to them, Ukrainian troops managed to clear several tree lines south of their previous positions, while the latest reports confirm that during the trench battles, Ukrainian forces managed to push eastward and are now only 500 meters away from the first buildings on the western part of Verbove. As seen on other footage, Ukrainian forces have increased their drone and artillery strikes over the lines between Novoprokopivka and Verbove. Perhaps, in the following days, the Ukrainian forces may try to penetrate the Russian defense in this direction, with the aim of facilitating the work for the Ukrainian forces in the areas west of Verbove. On the other side of the front, Ukrainian forces made small advances in the areas between Novoprokopivka and Robotyne. The Ukrainian source Deep State Map confirmed that the Ukrainian forces fully cleared the remaining parts of the complex trench system located north of Novoprokopivka and expanded their control in the area southwest of Robotyne, as well in the forest northeast of Novoprokopivka. With all the difficulties that come because of the fortifications and a large presence of the Russian forces in this front, the Ukrainian army still managed to advance about 20 square kilometers during the last week. On Bakhmut front, battles are ongoing in the Klishchiivka-Andriivka sector. Ukrainian forces continue to consolidate their control over the new positions, while Russian forces are reported to have made other attempts to gain a foothold near Klishchiivka and Andriivka. According to the General Staff of the Armed Forces of Ukraine, but also as confirmed by the Russian source Warganzo, the efforts of the Russian forces were not successful and the Ukrainian army maintains control over both settlements. The Ukrainian forces are now trying to clear the Russian positions to the north of Klishchiivka and east of Andriivka. Satellite images show that Ukrainian forces conducted heavy shelling over the Russian positions southeast of Andriivka and near Kurdyumivka, and at the same time the Ukrainian troops are making efforts to clear the Russian positions north of Kurdyumivka. According to Ilya Yevlash, the spokesman of the Eastern Group of the Armed Forces of Ukraine, thanks to their advance on the Klishchiivka-Andriivka sector, now the Ukrainian forces have established fire control over the Bakhmut-Horlivka highway, further complicating the supply issues of the Russian forces in the southern Bakhmut front. Friends, if you like my daily updates, I kindly ask you to hit the like and subscribe buttons, as this will greatly help the channel to reach a wider audience. That's all for today's update. Thank you to my Patreon supporters and have a great day.